Hey everybody, D Amazing here, bringing a review of the S.H.Figuarts Broly. And just in case you haven't noticed, there's about 1,000 other guys doing this review as well. So I'll try to keep it as simple as possible and kick straight knowledge to you guys. Well, in the meantime, don't worry about Super Cougar. You know, that's just my own thing. More importantly, let's get into Broly. So, because Broly's so huge, you can't straight up get him on camera without focusing on certain areas. So the first thing I'll do is focus on the upper torso. Now, before I even get into this review, I just want to point out that if you're going to complain the way the figure is, blah, 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 this and this, you know, just cut me off. Whatever. I don't care. But more importantly, the Dragon Ball Z figures, for what they are, they're nicely done. But if you're going to complain about the tiny feet, this is one gripe. If you are going to complain about the tiny feet, just tell me you've never seen Dragon Ball Z a day in your life. Because if you've ever watched anything with Broly in it, you know this is his second and final form called Legendary Super Saiyan. And he bulks up. It's not an actual ascension to the next level. He just bulks up. So he keeps his normal body mass for technically his lower body. But, you know, it's just weird. They have tiny feet. Deal with it. Goku has it. Gohan has it. They all have tiny feet with the exception of Piccolo. He wears like a size 18. But, you know, whatever. Anyway, back to the review. So straight up I want to point out that Broly is done, for the size that he has done, he's actually done pretty well. And since he is shirtless, you pretty much can't hide the fact that you see the technology in the joints. Well, whatever. The figure's huge. Deal with it. So as you can see, rotation on the arm is actually pretty well. He can rotate 360 degrees. He has bicep swivel. He is double jointed. Well, he has gigantic muscles, so I wouldn't even call it double jointed. He has 1.5 articulation, I'm going to say, because this just, like I said, it's ridiculous. As far as rotation on the head, it can rotate all the way around, but you want to watch out because up here, once you get to where the other half of the neck is, you are limiting yourself. Although you can turn it around, it looks a little weird, and just don't even bother. But the arm articulation is indeed excellent, especially for someone as massive as him. And it's really cool because he actually holds up really well just standing on his own. He doesn't need a stand. He's not flimsy. Don't worry about Super Cougar dropping because he's a jerk. But more importantly, what I want to point out is, you guys can't see it here, but I'm going to try to zoom in. Inside, there is a tiny gap for Broly. I'm going to focus. There's a tiny gap here that allows you to maneuver Broly properly without having to worry about paint rub, which is something you would probably do if you're going to play with the figure a lot. Now, on the lower body, a lot of things that people were worried about is, how is the cape going to be? Is it going to be movable? The front is movable. The side flaps are movable. And you still have the normal S.H.Figuarts technology where you can pull down the legs, which is what most Dragon Ball Z use. And I don't know if you can see it properly, but in there's a ball joint also attached to the legs that would allow swivel and double jointed knees. Even for as huge as Broly is, he has double jointed knees, which is pretty cool indeed. But, you know, like I said, a lot of people are going to complain. That's their business. Lastly, you definitely want to worry about the feet. The feet rotate really well. They have swivel. They can rotate all the way around. They can even curve in. The problem is Broly does have tiny feet. It's based off the actual proportions given to him by Akira Toriyama, or whoever it is that chose to do the movie designs, and they stayed pretty accurate to it and gave him tiny feet to this huge giant monkey body that they gave him. But again, he still holds pretty well on his own. As you see, I go up and down. There's no issue with Broly standing. It's not flimsy. It holds together really well. But like I said, that's just my opinion. Somebody else can get Broly and it can fall apart in 2 seconds. Whatever. Anyway, let's get into faces. One of the regular faces that we have is the screaming face, where literally Broly is yelling Kakarot every time he even opens his mouth. I don't even think he said other words besides that as soon as he got to this form. It's only been Kakarot. The other face you get is Broly smirking, which proves that how ridiculously ruthless Broly is. So there you go. You got the most ridiculous face ever. Broly does come with really cool hands because it comes with hands open enough to grab Goku's head. But we all know people have done that shot like a million times on over every form of social media. But whatever. Anyway, Hands. I'm gonna call these jazz hands. Here we have Ki Blast hands, which, you know, switched around. These are open palm hands for using the Ki Blast that he comes with. And if you didn't know, he comes with 3 of these. 3 tiny Ki Blast balls. Which I think is hilarious because Broly only ever shoots tiny fireballs. I guess doesn't have to worry about compensating. I don't know. But anyway, this is one of my creations, whatever. And in size comparison, he is tiny. Very, very, very tiny. He comes up to about his waist. Sorry about that. But he comes up to about his waist. So when you compare it to a Marvel Legend, a little taller. And if we put the Hulk in there, not too much taller. So yeah, he's still pretty big. Pretty big. Oh wow, I was scared it was going to fall and he held up on his own. Well, I don't know. I want to grade Broly, but honestly, I don't think I should. Because it's honestly just one of those figures where it's like, why do you have it? I don't know. Maybe I just want to beat up on it with a bunch of other action figures. Maybe I want him to beat up on the action figures. But I am going to tell you this. If you were ever a fan of Dragon Ball Z, this is a figure you need to own because we all know how Dragon Ball Z prices get after about a month. If you have one, I'm happy for you. If you don't and you want it, go out and get it. Otherwise, you're a chump and you're fooling yourself. So, if you can, go out and get it. If not, you know, get up on it. Alright, y'all. Thanks for watching.